Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Planet Coaster 2 with Cookie Pirate. Gonna be a short stream tonight, just want to hang out for a bit, check some stuff out, and then maybe reveal a few plans for a upcoming park project. So, I think to start off I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the Viking Park. We did not check this out last stream. So we'll go here for a bit, just hang out. And yeah, we've still got to fix this entire coaster here. Whoa. Band player, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Sorry I wasn't there for some of the last stream. I was jet lagged. Oh man. I get the feeling, man. Hey, no worries at all. Dino Dukes, what's going on? Good to see you again tonight. And listen to all of these notifications popping up. I'm getting tired of them. Whatever. I would like to put the 4 seasons in the queue for today's showcases. I'm going to update it in a bit, as several rides have been completed and added. Okay. We can do it, but fair warning, this is not going to be a long stream, so don't expect this to be, I would say, more than an hour and 15 minutes or so. Hour and a half tops. And we've got a few things to look at, but I'm not overloaded with stuff, so we can squeeze it in, but I do want to spend a little bit of time just kind of hanging out, talking about some park updates, some future projects that I want to work on, as well as ideas of potentially revamping the 2 existing parks that I'm working on, which one of them, of course, being this, and the second one being the tropical one we checked out last night. Point Coasters, how are you, man? Sorry, missed the earlier stream today. You didn't miss much. I love my flight sim, but I was not very happy with how that flight went. So, yeah. Well, I don't know. Dale, what's going on, man? Dino Dukes, did you see what happened with Lufthansa's 787? I did not, actually. Managed to somehow make my way to PortAventura World 2 weeks ago. Absolute peak. Oh, man. That's awesome. So I gotta ask, what was your favorite coaster there? I'd say Shambhala with Red Force as a close second. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I would imagine it was probably Shambhala, or that would be pretty high up the list. Got 2 rides on Red Force before we literally ran out of the park to get a taxi. Oh man. It's nose gear collapsed because a down lock pin was missing. Oh boy. Ah. Well, I don't know, but that's why we check that stuff very carefully in the aviation industry. That should have been caught. That absolutely should have been caught. So that's a pretty big failure in the system. Mechanic who might have done that, or failed to put the down lock pin, somebody should have gone behind him and checked and caught it. And then I don't fault the pilots as much because they may not be quite as aware. But I would say the pilots bear a little bit of responsibility as well. They should have pre-flighted that aircraft and noticed that pin. So, hey, nose gear collapse. If you gotta pick a gear to collapse, your nose wheel is probably the best one. And nose gear collapses compared to other things are very minor on the overall grand scheme, but still. Just not a good situation. Should have been caught by multiple people. That's a failure in the system. Think it was in Germany? Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, that's... Lufthansa operates out of Germany, so... Anyway, with this monstrosity of a park, this is what we have left to finish up over here. This helix needs to be redone. This turn probably needs to be redone a little bit, maybe just a little bit more gradual somehow. But that hill there is actually really good. This helix, I think, just needs to be widened a little bit, and then either some trims or this helix up here needs to be adjusted. But we're not too far off with this. And then, the real fun is going to be trying to fix this freaking queue. I'm not an advocate for drinking bleach or other forms of self-harm, but I would rather drink bleach than try to build this queue tonight. I've had to lock in the past day or so because Frontier reworked music and my save file corrupted slightly, so changes everything. Entire ride needs to be redone. Ah. Everything's changing on Changes Everything. Oh, I'm not laughing at you at all, but I made a bad pun. Alright, we're getting close with this. But once we figure out all the queue mess, and we figure out how to connect it out over here and all that bull crap, then we actually need to redo the inside of this over here. So gift shop, get relocated back over here, where we'll probably end up putting the ride photos. See that actually? Ooh, you know what? Yeah, the way that we set that up, it actually connects into the plaza back here. So potentially we could put a little something kind of extended out over this way. Maybe put the ride kiosk recessed back here a little bit or something. Because, I mean, if we got them to walk through the building, it would lead them right to it. Kind of like the old exit when it came down. You walked through here, your ride photos were right back here on the wall, or you could walk to the gift shop wall. But now that this is an egress out into the main plaza, unless we set something up like back here, potentially. But that's where some like decorations and stuff are gonna go, so I don't really want to do that. And the goal with this is to try to make the building relatively parallel from the front. But I'm not really sure. Let's see, Dale says the same. I'd rather gouge my eyes out with a fork than watch someone who's a perfectionist on queue lines build a queue line. Hey! What you saying? No, you're right. That building looks amazing. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, this has been a little bit of a challenge to put together. But I think it's finally kind of starting to come together. But I've got to figure out all of this over here. And now I can't speed everything up with the time scale because the music rework doesn't allow for the music to stay the same. The entire situation just sucks ass. Oh! No, that does sound pretty awful. That building does look amazing. I appreciate it. Hey, Cookie, if you want to try to make the buildings more detailed, you can try to detail the outside of them with the wooden support beams of any variety. It makes the building look a lot more intricate. Yeah, I've thought a bit about that, just trying to figure out. But the first thing that I need to do is figure out how I want the layout to really come together. Once I get the layout and the structure, basically the foundation and the form, then we'll go back through and add the more detailed scenery pieces, the glass, the lights, any sort of that wood trim. And I've done that with a couple buildings. I actually kind of cheated with this one a little bit. I took one of the stock coaster stations and just modified it a bit, widened it, and it actually worked out pretty well for that. That was not built by me, but this is kind of the inspiration I would go with. I can get a single good run in around an hour. It's going to take hundreds of runs for no lag to hit on the whole ride. Oof. What I don't understand is how the reworked music and the save file ended up getting corrupted, unless it just didn't carry over into an update well, but they shouldn't corrupt that way. That is pretty odd. In the process of reworking it, lag spikes make the entire thing impossible. Oof. Well, also on that grass, may I recommend adding some hardy ice plants, no flowers, to add tons of texture. What grass? Back out over here, kind of in between the building. Just plop another triple floor building blueprint of yours. Triple? Uh-oh, we got that beat. We got quadruple. And then we got the coaster station up here, so it's really a quintuple. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important announcement. For everybody in this building, there's something very, very important. And I need your all's utmost attention. T3 sucks! Who doesn't like a little grass graffiti on the, or a little red graffiti on the ceiling? I'm talking about grass. Quintuple and quadruple Jesus. Man, if we had a quintuple and quadruple Jesus in this park, I wouldn't still be working on it, man. So basically what they did with the music, instead of syncing music with the ride, they synced music with time. What, like the clock down here? Because that doesn't make any sense. That's bonkers. I'm dying. In the last update, I could get a lag spike and just leave the coaster and come back and be fine. But now the lag causes time to change. Real life time. Well, what in the world? That's a really odd. That doesn't sound right. That's bizarre. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some plans. And I'm actually going to open up a poll. Music is perpetual motion now. Time is relative, as is lag. I wish this game was. So this park here. Couple things we could do. And I'm not really sure what I want to do with this, to be honest. I'm kind of hesitant, because I do have some motivation remaining to, you know, have fun with this park and stuff. But what kind of happened to me with this is what happened to me with the tropical park. I just got tired of it. And I think for me to get my motivation back, like full motivation, I would keep a lot of these existing coasters and just like reposition them, relocate them, maybe retheme them a little bit. And there are a number of coasters that I previously had in this park that I no longer do, that have been taken out to make space. And what we have here... Oh, Dino Dukes, how much space is left in the park? So, not much. We've got a little bit on the edges out over here, and I didn't really utilize this as well as I could have. So that's a little bit of something to consider. But the taiga biome, I would say, is probably the toughest to work with, because this is the only map of the four where you have so much terrain difference within the park boundaries. Like, it's really high up over here. It's fairly high up over here. It's not quite as much, but you've got a good bit. And then out over here, a little bit less so, but still pretty jagged. And then all of this along the back, very tough to build up this way. Kings Island, how's it going, man? Dale, why wouldn't you just start a new park? Set yourself free, my brother. Well, I mean, that is something I'm considering, but I don't know if I would want to do a new park with this theme. So that there is something to consider a little bit. And we have 3 votes for write it off and be done with it. And 2 votes for overhaul the entire park and retheme. Very interesting. I kind of figured the first option would be the middle ground. make a Cookie Land Magic Kingdom. Well, if you're talking about a new park, I have ideas for it, trust me. Retheme your coasters. I'm not watching that. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we say to Dale if you don't want to watch it? 1, 2, 3. Out! No, I don't care. I honestly don't blame you. Because we'd be just moving stuff around, redoing landscaping. The only thing that really feels deficient, I mean, this is the biggest coaster in the park. This was the most popular coaster in the park. And the highest rated. So, it would not feel complete without finishing this out. And then, this kind of centerpiece thing. Expanding the pool, the water park area. And then we've got to set up a really good opportunity to build a super awesome B&M wing coaster that I just have not gotten around to. So maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody else can kind of take that and build something off of it. So, and this park, I need to say this, some of you do not know this, especially if you're kind of on the newer side to my streams. But this park actually does have a special place in my heart, and that is because this is the first full-scale park that I built after getting this game. Your mic just did not work just now. What? Wee, he's redoing the queue. Wee, he's returning the already Viking theme. Hey, well, I might bring some sorcery and fairy tale and all that stuff. That is actually, I need to qualify that. That is an idea that I've had for a new park. So I probably would not do that here. The out was too much for your mic to handle. Oh, yeah. Well, then my mic actually did work. Because, if it didn't and the voice spike was that high, I would have probably blown a couple people's eardrums out, and I'm really not trying to do that. Try making some mini parks. Ooh. That actually could be a lot of fun. Now that some time has passed, how go is the Parades DLC? How good? You can revisit the park anytime. Yeah, that's true. That definitely is true. This would be one that I would consider saving, just because of the sentimental value, with it being the, I mean, the first full-scale park. It's not the first park, period, because I did set up a little, I mean, I actually have my first few PC2 streams, still up on the channel back a year and a half ago. But this was the first real park that I started working on that I built out into a full-size thing. So. Alright, Dino Dukes, have a great rest of the evening. Enjoy your dinner. Hopefully we can catch you later, but if not, then we'll catch you next time, man. No worries. Jimpers, what's going on, man? How are ya? Kings Island, I think that's the second best from behind studios from PC1. No. I don't agree with that. I think the ride inclusions were good. But I would have to say I really think the Sorcery DLC was the best one that they added in so far. Toy Box was cool. That was a little bit more cheesy. It's got some neat stuff, though. Now, I would say with the Parades pack, because that's a major feature. Yeah, they probably need some tweaks, but that's a cool thing to add in. But I really do like the addition of the, of the RMC Raptor, finally. So it's great to have that. And then the narrow dive with the splashdown, I think, is a really good addition as well. But I have to say, with a comprehensive scenery pack as the sorcery pack, and some really good coaster models, you got the Vekoma kitty coaster, and I'm not super big on the bike and sidecar, but I love the Intamin Blitz. That's one of the best coaster additions that they could have made. So, I gotta see the sorcery. Say the sorcery DLC was the best one. I think Studios looked like the effing coolest DLC I've ever seen from PC1. Yeah. I never looked too much into it, but I think the Studios and then... Was it the World's Fair or something? Whatever they called it, the World's Fair that brought the different world themes, I thought was really good. A Precious Chase. How's it going? I really struggle with this game and others like it, as I don't particularly have a good imagination, so it's very hard to visualize. That is why I'm interested in you starting a new park, so I can follow along with you. Well, that is motivation to do a new park, and believe me, I mean, people, a few people here have been shouting it for weeks, if not longer. New park, new park, new park! You know who you are. But I've been thinking pretty extensively over the past several days about what I would want to do for a new park. My favorite DLC has to go to Sorcery. The Blitz is my all-time favorite coaster in-game and in real life. Interesting. Okay. The cool thing about the Parades DLC is that it adds more pieces for the other themes. Huh. Interesting. Never really picked up on that. Okay. So, it looks like what we have. One vote for finish a couple coasters and quit. Overhaul the entire park and retheme. And write it off and be done with it. I'm really hesitant to write it off with this and this incomplete, but you know what? That could be a really good opportunity for somebody else to come in and build it out. I could even put this up on the workshop and let people take it and kind of get creative. I could put it up as a collab. Can the new park have a lazy river around a volcano? Everybody in chat, I have a really important question to ask. I need a little bit of audience participation here. Give me an O. Plus you get dinosaur bones. Really don't know how to do the terraforming well. Oh, I do. So yeah, that would be where I could definitely give you some help. It's very easy once you get the hang of it. Okay, next up, give me the second letter. You know where I'm going with this. Alright, we're going to exit out of this park. I'm not prepared to write it off 100% yet. But it... Yeah, and I could, you know, hang on to the file and play around with it every once in a while. Alright. I am going to go into creations here. Kings Island knows where I'm going with this. He gave me a U and a T. Hey, I asked for the second letter. I wasn't trying to get too far ahead yet. But, what happens when Dale asks for a lazy river around a volcano? You get sent out! Out. Laze. Oh, great. Somebody please interrupt him real quick. Just kidding. Oh, that's gold. Oh, man. That's pretty awesome. He spelled out lazy and started to spell out river, but then says just kidding. Okay. Let's take a look over here. We have actually 2 of Dale's coasters. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I need a little bit of audience participation to tell band player what to do. Lazy rivers are not CM. I love something. I'm sorry, I repent. Okay. I gotta step up real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Had a quick phone call. Let's see here. All of you people spamming letters. I love Weezer. Oh. Dale interrupted it with a D. Wheezed. Good job, Kings Island. Out, T3 sucks. What's with these homies dissing my girl? Why they got a front? Why you asking us? Hey, Dino Dukes, welcome back. Just got back here. Sorry I wasn't talking to you, Carrots. Don't care about. Oh, perfect timing. Yeah, he's like, I'm back, and Kings Island says, I don't care about that. Little bit of a chat delay. Alright, well, anyway, here we are. So we are going to look at two of Dale's coasters that he dropped last night, and I was just too tired to check them out. So we're going to do that now. And Kings Island, you said you had a Woody for me to check out? Or was that somebody else? But I do want to check this out here. It's a launched LSM. I can't remember which one this was. But he had two coasters. Do y'all know where these people find online images of real-life parks to copy? Google Earth or Google Maps, maybe? No. It may have been somebody else. It may have been Strawberry Jam. But somebody was working on a wooden coaster. It may have been him. Yeah, I would say Google Maps, or especially Google Earth if you have the 3D imaging enabled, because then you can kind of see the height profiles as well. A three-dimensional rendition of a coaster is definitely easier to replicate than a two-dimensional. I only make dark ride coasters, pretty much. Okay, then it must have been Strawberry Jam. My apologies, I thought it was you, but I just must have mixed you up. I don't remember. I was pretty tired last night, so... Alright. Well, let's go ahead and jump on this here. So we're going to go ahead and do front bumper POV. Start. It's like one of those Norwegian loops. Another overbank turn right here. Back into the brakes. Okay. I dropped two. This is one of them. Yeah, well, the second one I placed right over here, so we'll check that out next. Figured I would start with this. So this is pretty cool. You've kind of got the Norwegian loop element up here. One thing to note, you do kind of have this little bit awkward kind of lateral shift to line up with the dive loop. Got a really nice overbanked turn right here. Then you come back around into a Sidewinder. Got a really nice profile turn here. And a very nice roll up into that final overbanked turn, right back down into the exit platform there. And definitely the building is not complete, but from what we do have so far, it looks absolutely beautiful. I do like the theming a lot, so keep that up. And it is a... Wait, it's not a Norwegian loop? Oh, non-invergent. Inverted loop. Ah, can't talk. Tired again tonight. Let me just go back and look. I can't even select them. The Norwegian loop, is that the one that actually drops down from the bottom? That's a Scandinavian loop. What? No. So, but yeah, you've got some really cool stuff going on. I think you do need a little bit of smoothing in a couple of your turns. Kind of the rollout from there. Coming up into that there. It's really not bad though. Yeah, like Kings Island said, it is nice, a little bit wonky. Just some smoothing I think would do it, but this actually is some really cool stuff going on. And it's short. Look at those stats right there. Almost 7.5. 5.4 on the fear. Your nausea is a little bit high. It's within the green. When it gets to 3, it turns yellow. So the thing about the EFN scores, for those of you that may not be aware how they're actually colored and scored, the higher the excitement is, the better. The lower the nausea is, the better. And then your fear is kind of a middle ground. You don't want it too low because then it just kind of feels like a boring coaster, but you don't want it too high or it's actually going to drive up the nausea and it can actually even push down the excitement. This is what I was asking help from Jimpers, but he claims it made his PC crash. This shouldn't have. A Norwegian loop is like a dive loop right into an Immelmann. Okay, yeah. So it's like the upside down loop, so to speak. Your laterals are a little bit high, a little unrealistic. Your verticals are a little bit high, but that is not too far out of the bounds of normal. Looks like you've got some really good pops of airtime. And I think where that is coming from is your deceleration. So what I would do is actually just bring some more brakes a little bit further up here. Because I don't think that has an overly notable effect on your scores, but it might a little bit. So I would add a few brakes up here just to kind of give it a little bit more of a controlled descent. It's a Scandinavian loop it is. Okay. But yeah, overall this is really neat. I like the elements that you have. You've got the dive loop. You've got the Sidewinder. You've got the non-inverting loop, and you've got the Heartline roll right back here. You did it rips the excitement down, probably because of the forces. In fact, we could confirm that just by doing... Oh, great. Okay, it wants to look at the section between the exit and the entrance platform. What? That's not what I'm trying to find out. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so your vertical Gs are actually spiking right here. They're a bit high there. They're a little high through that loop, but that's where you get that negative. The pop of airtime. Yeah, there's definitely some good force to this. None of it really seems that unreasonable. It's high. Little high through that. Little high. That's really not that bad. And it's actually a little bit tough to pinpoint exactly where that minus 5.7 whatever. Taking a look at your laterals. Yep. Right back here. Okay. So what you could do with this, and if we look at your verticals, they're not that high. To temper those laterals down, because this is really the only place on the ride that would need it, bank that just a little bit more. What that'll do is take your laterals down, bring your verticals up. It'll take it from the mid 2s to the mid 3s, maybe the upper 3s, and could take your laterals from about 3 down to 1.5 or so. but that also should not sacrifice, shouldn't really sacrifice the excitement or intensity. Do it? Well, I told you, I'm not really one to mess with, you know, the coasters that y'all have made and stuff. What we could do... Let's crank it over like that a little bit. And then we're gonna go back to that there. And then let's do a little bit of smoothing here. So I'm gonna pull that. And actually in a couple of these turns, I think that's where you could use some smoothing. So we're actually going to go backwards. We're going to bump this down to 6 first. It doesn't like that because that's an element. And you can't smooth those. But you can smooth these, so we'll go forward here. Why doesn't it like that? It's a non-standard piece. Oh no, there's trim, sir, friction. Okay. Hey, Crazanity, what's going on, man? I'm curious what it tests at when you do it. Alright, so what we'll do is let it ride again. And let it pull another circuit. And we'll see kind of how the results are. I can give you my best shot at custom profiling that. Why is that not running now? Oh, take a look at this, the little angel wings. Oh, you know what? Somehow it was paused. That's why. Yeah, I found it. I don't know why that was in pause. Yep, and that actually, that kept the excitement where it was at, but moderated the fear and the nausea a little bit. And yeah, look at that, your laterals are down to, okay, they didn't drop as much as I was trying to get them to. But 2.4, and your verticals are no higher than they were before. That leads me to believe that your verticals are peaking somewhere in this loop. And if you take a look at the heat map and go vertical G's, yep, that could be redone a little bit. That's a pretty high spike there. See through this, they're about 3.1 to probably 3.2, where they were in the low to mid 2s before. And, okay, now we'll pause it and look at the map. And your laterals are down below 2 right here. And that's what we were going for. So, Actually, your laterals might be spiking over here, or like right here. So I don't know. But anyway, slight modification just with the bank angle makes a difference on that kind of stuff. Alright, next up we're gonna check your second. Oh boy. We've got a little bit of terrain work to do right here. I'm at the Cedar Point Express Hotel. We'll be spending a full day at Point tomorrow, then a half day at Point the next day. After that half day is when I head to Island. Alright. That's going to be a lot of fun. Keep us posted. Decided to go see the iconic Cedar Point skyline today. Just didn't realize how huge Top Thrill 2 looked until now. Looks like a great compact coaster. Yeah, that's a pretty solid ride. Any other parts underground that we need to watch for? Yes. Haha. Yep. A little bit. Actually, this looks really neat. Okay, I would say that's pretty good there. And let's unpause. And let's go ahead and jump on. We'll do the front bumper POV again and start test. Is this one of those like jumbo demonic knots? Ooh, that's a lot of trims there. Alright, well, I am pretty dizzy right here. One of my favorite streamers paused her stream to go eat dinner, so I came here. Which one is that? And just out of curiosity, I don't care. I mean, I don't care who you all go watch. I think I'm not longer alive. This seems like a Dale coaster. Oh! Man! Yikes, that's a little bit brutal right there. But actually, this coaster is a bit brutal. Rally Rabbit. Not really familiar with her, actually. Maybe I should be. Okay, so I actually like the drop out of the station down here. You've got the launch tires. Man, that sure does pack a punch, I'll tell you that. Got this really nice drawn overbanked curve. And I'm gonna pause it here. And you come back around. And then you kind of come through this. It has some really weird laterals. Then you come up into this kinda like top hat, inverted top hat. Almost a little bit of a banana roll, not quite. Come back down, the trim's hit. Okay. I need to say, I am not a fan, and Dale is far from the only person that I've seen do this on coasters. When you take a coaster and turn it upside down for such an extended duration, that actually does some weird things to the human body. So what is happening? Alright, when you are upright on a coaster or in a chair, like I am sitting here at my computer, how many G's are you feeling? Scandinavian banana roll. Not just weird things, straight up deadly things. But yeah, if you're sitting upright, probably 1. Definitely 1. Exactly 1 G. Now, if you are sitting, let's say you've got a seat belt or you're strapped into a chair hanging upside down from the ceiling, how many G's are you experiencing? I'm not trying to turn this into a science lesson here, but it's important to understand the physics and the G-forces of coasters. It is -1. So the only time you can really experience 0 G is when you have some sort of a curve. And that is going to depend on whether you are upright or upside down. So let's find a hill on a roller coaster. Let's just take, for example, a little bit of a pop right here. When you go up over a hill, the movement of the car, the roller coaster train in its entirety, but the car that you are on, as it goes up over that curve, the human body, traveling at the speed and in the direction that it has been going along that track, but then all of a sudden the car and the train changes, it starts moving downward, but the human body, because you are not per se a part of the car, want to continue going that direction until your harness keeps you locked in and going on the trajectory of the car. That's what gets you airtime. So that's really the only way you can experience 0 Gs. When you're upside down, that is reversed. So at the very top, let's just say at the very top of this loop, the train came to almost a complete stop. It did not in this case, but let's just say it did. At the top, if it came to a stop, you'd be hanging. You'd be experiencing -1 Gs. If you have a little bit of momentum coming through this, that G-force, that centripetal force, is going to keep you kind of pressed against the car, feeling more than -1. It may be 0, it may be 1. If you have enough speed, it'll be above 1. So Norwegian loops aren't okay. No, they are, but it depends on the speed that you're going through it. Called Raptor, it's a B&M wing inspired by the Thunderbird at Holiday World. Did you post a code? I didn't see one. So I'm going on a little bit of a tangent right here because I want to actually point something out. When you go through a section like this that is upside down, the response of your forces are actually opposite to what they normally are if your coaster is right side up. So your banking, your laterals, the laterals you're gonna feel it to one direction or another. But through all of this, the banking will make a difference because it'll affect the vertical G's. And so it really did feel awkward. But also just to say, when you experience negative G's for a very sustained amount of time, like, I don't know about you all, but when I was a kid, I'd hang out on a playground. I loved the swings. Swings were my favorite things. And sometimes I'd hang upside down from a swing. But you really can't do it for more than a few seconds because that sensation of being upside down when all of the blood, all of the gravity is pulling toward your head, it really feels awkward. So, any negative G's sustained for more than a short duration, a fraction of a second to maybe a little bit more depending on what you're going for, is not only uncomfortable but can also be dangerous to people. I mean, hanging upside down, not so much, but when you're upside down, if you make the wrong maneuver and force, you know, a -3G element, that actually can be really dangerous to a person. It causes an effect called red out, where there's so much blood that they start seeing red, and it can actually burst like capillaries and small veins and arteries and stuff like that, which that can be pretty dangerous. Alright, let's see, should be on the second page of my workshop, should be a green B&M wing. Got the code, and Kings Island has a code. So this coaster should be named Negative Centripetal Force. At the rate of some of this stuff, yeah. You've got some really cool elements. I love the sea serpent right here. You've got the demonic knot. Got the corkscrew, then you've got... Is this custom built? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Kind of like a custom Immelman or a reverse Sidewinder. After these two, I've got the last one. Alright, well, let's see. And yeah, the final brakes. It's fun, it's got a lot of cool elements, but this is... And actually, your stats are a little bit more, yeah, Devil's Coaster right here, the Inferno. 666. But interestingly, your intensity, or your fear, is higher than this one. Nausea is about the same, but the excitement is lower. And I think what that is caused by is some of these forces are so intense that they're actually suppressing the excitement. Like if the intensity or the fear gets high enough, it just adds to the excitement. People are like, oh, there's more forces. But then it gets to be to a point where it becomes uncomfortable or painful. And that suppresses your excitement. And I think that's what's happening here. 5.6 laterals could injure people. 6.6 on the verticals, that would be very uncomfortable, could cause some blackouts for people that are not used to that. That's less egregious. Then you've got some extreme forward and not really backward, but acceleration and deceleration forces. And I think that would actually... I think that, to that degree that they're reflecting, could actually be impacting the scores a bit. So, alright. I gotta get up real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Sorry about the short delay here. Cookie is the fun police over here. No, I'm not the fun police. Come on. 5.6 lets would not injure you. It would literally kill you. I think people would... Yeah, they would be able to survive that. Some. I think Cookie had to go puke from the inferno. No, I did not. Alright, we'll check out Crazanities, and we'll check out Strawberry Jams and King's Island, and then we'll go take a look at band players. JP is not here. He had something he wanted to share. But he is not here, so I will save his creation for when he is. Man, doesn't feel like I've been on for an hour, but okay. Oh, well, there's that. And let me go find... H. Nope, that's not it. Oh, look at all of this. We got SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, we've got the Rugrats. Oh, that's so funny. Thornberries, Rocket League. Fairly Odd Parents. What? Hey Arnold, Cat Dog. Look at that. Oh no. No way. We're gonna have to do a Super Mario Park now. That's so cool. Not on the browse page. Yeah. That's so cool though. Da 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 da. Oh wait, where's Princess Daisy? Daisy was always my favorite Disney princess. Where's Doug? I don't know. Maybe he's still working on it. Alright. Let me double check that code. 8H88H67QDR3. No creation found with this share code. Alright, hang on. 8DNMWXXB4. Yep, okay, there it is. I knew that was yours, but I was like, wait a second, that didn't match the code I was looking at. And I was reading the wrong line. Sorry about that. Yep, so we've got that there. So we have Rumbler, Wings of Destruction, and let me cross-check. Let me cross-check Krasanity is here. Workshop Creations. Tilt Coaster. Doesn't have dates, so you may have to let me know the name, or if you recognize the image, we could go off that. Should be called Extremifier. Old Gen Vekoma Tilt Coaster, yep, that's gotta be it. Alright. So we'll get back from there. So we've got Rumbler, Wings of Destruction, and Extremifier. We'll place those three. Bonsai, how are you? I've low-key been doing a bit more Ultimate Coaster 3 than PC2 because I just got it. Yeah, I only saw just in the last couple days that Ultimate Coaster 3 came out, which is pretty neat. Alright, hold on. Are we looking at both of these? Raptor B&M Wing. Yep, okay. So let me go back in and grab that. Band player, drop your code if you would. I really don't think we're going to be looking at the entire park tonight. Already been an hour and 15 minutes. We hardly checked these out. Vampire Firewing. Raptor. There it is. Also sorry for my video be late to upload since I got busy for 2 days, but should upload it tonight. Okay. Man, I love buildings don't die fencing, said no one. Sorry, my house just had a power surge from the storm. Oh, that sucks. What's going on, Velocity? How are you, man? Glad you made it. Alright, let's get Raptor. We'll place that. Time blows the F by when playing this game. It's scarier than doom scrolling TikTok. Yeah, well, I don't have TikTok, so I don't doom scroll TikTok. So yeah. Yeah, a little bit frightening here. Yeah, so we've got the Woody. What's the other one that we need to check out? Stupid Frontier Workshop not working. I have a coaster too, Cookie, but you can just put it in queue for the next stream. Don't want to keep you up later than you want to. Yeah, and I know the one that you made is gonna be super intensive, so I would like to save that one if you're okay with it. I do appreciate the latitude there. I'd like for you to check out my Tilt Coaster and Wing now, as I'm not going to be on stream much longer, but have to head to sleep for the night. Need some rest for Cedar Point tomorrow. Okay. Let me place your other one. We'll look at those two first. That's fine. Let's check placement. Yeah, we've got a little bit underground. Not too much. Yeah, let's raise that. Okay. That's good there. Let's do this one first. I appreciate your longitude too. Will you still be live in 20 minutes because I want to watch a new video my friend posted? Yeah, probably 20 minutes. Not much more than that, though. So, I would say not more than a half hour. We can actually skip the lift hill for this here. I'm gonna have to come up with some stuff for the showcases, because this, I mean, y'all have got some really great stuff, and I love checking it out, but it just, sometimes it gets to be a little bit overwhelming. Check this, check this, check this. It's like, where do I start? Coaster made before I learned how to make vertical loops. That's fine. Nice and short. Nothing super extravagant, but a nice simple, the thrill is the tilt. And say, I really don't think the in-game vertical loop is that bad. Some people would disagree with me, but I think it's fine in general. So, then you've got the helix down here. You've got a corkscrew, another helix, and the final brakes. Hey! It's like Tilt Vortex. Sorry, Mr. Pirate, if we drive you crazy in pirate terms. Arr, you're driving me crazy. Arr. Now walk the plank. Alright, band player updated his stuff there. Awesome. Gravity Max in Taiwan is really short, so that's why this coaster is short as well. And yeah, you know, sometimes that's all you need. You've got the thrill of the drop, the tilt, and the drop, and then you've got two nice inversions. You've got the turn, the loop, the 270 helix, the corkscrew, another helix up into the final brakes. And it's pretty straightforward. I don't agree with these results. I think based on the fear and nausea scores, the excitement should be higher. But I think they're also, again, hampered by the fact that, number one, this coaster doesn't have airtime. Number two, you've got the lift tilt, you've got the tilt, so you're just sitting there thinking, oh, what's going to happen? I don't know. Are we going to tilt vertical and drop through the sky? Oh, are we going to go off the tracks? Whatever, stupid. Actually, look at that. Your minimum vertical G-force is 0 exactly. That's pretty incredible. And yeah, your forces are good. I just really don't like the way the EFN scores are ranked here. Alright, let's go ahead and check out Raptor. That'll be Crazanity's second. We're actually going to go ahead and do the front bumper, so we're centered on the track. Start test. This wing coaster flows really well. Are we winging it? Oh! It actually does feel really smooth. Oh! Yeah, missed a spot right there. Haha, falls off a big building. Better have your wings equipped. Give you a safe landing. Yeah, this is really nice. Felt very graceful overall. I love the incorporation of the lift. That's one of the best things this game had done, is giving the wing coasters a launch option. Nice hang time in the loop. Then you've got this really neat incline dive loop up. It's seen a couple of those lately, and that's really neat. Definitely a little bit of an inspiration from Gatekeeper. And you've got this kind of cut back. It's more an overbanked turn. 0G, you've got the corkscrew, and then the helix. The B&M floor lift is getting a huge line. The entry to the helix pulls the highest lats. It's alright though. .8. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not terrible. You'd feel it, but it's not terrible. Your verticals are good. Get that little bit of airtime. It's very short in duration, but that is neat. The wing coaster had a launch time in the original PC. Did it really? The corkscrew. Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking of the helix, and I was looking at that, and I'm like, corkscrew. No, that's not right. Oh man, y'all are keeping me up too late. It's not even that late, but I'm tired. I slept better than I did the night before, but I also had a really long day. This was... Yeah, I'll say this. It's good hanging out with you all tonight. Much needed after most of the rest of my day was not anywhere close to this good. So... Yeah, and this is kind of remarkable right here. I don't understand that. Because you've got good forces, you've got really good elements. Must just be the B&M curse. The B&M curse in PC2 EFN scores. I don't get it. There were 2 models of B&M wings. Cookie, have a good night. I'm headed to bed, and as always, T3 sucks. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great time at Cedar Point to keep us all posted. Folks, if you are not already in the Discord, I highly recommend you join it, where we have folks like Crazanity post about his real-world coaster experiences. And we can talk about the game and just hang out and chat. So... no obligation, but if you are interested and you're not already a part of it, the link is in the video description. Speed airtime, that's all the EFN scores look for. Exactly. And it's shameful. Because there are so many great things about roller coasters that the EFN scores just don't consider enough. And it gets aggravating. Because then it feels like you get penalized for building a certain type of coaster. Even if you did everything else by the book. Burn T3 to the ground. Alright, next up we're going to check out the RMC Raptor. Ooh. Got a bit of fun before the lift hill. That's quite the pre-lift. Well, I build my coasters for my guests who won't stop saying hoo hoo ha ha yeah ha. Hey hey! Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha ha! This here is a little bit of a lengthy brake section, but yeah, it's fine. Okay. So for this, one thing that I notice is some of the transitions seem very jerky. So I feel like this coaster needs a bit of smoothing. And there we get back into the station here. But overall, I think it's cool. It's got a really interesting layout. It is far off the norm. And it's got a lot of great stuff going on. It really does need some smoothing. But yeah, overall, great concept, a lot of fun stuff going on. It's got some great elements. It needs some smoothing. Because a lot of these transitions I notice, they feel like they have a kick to them. And it isn't really graceful, it's not smooth. The transitions are not... I don't want to say they're not well thought out, because they probably are. but they're not well smoothed out execution-wise. Yeah, I only smoothed the ride with 2 power. Okay. Then here's what we can do. So we'll go in. And we'll do 5. I want to do it relatively modestly first. Can't do there. So we'll select the next 2. Try going through the whole ride with a 4-track segment selection, forward smoothing and all smoothing at 6 power. 6 is a healthy balance. I don't think RMC Raptors are supposed to be graceful. Well, graceful may not be the right word, but I will say this felt very choppy. I think actually 5 is working okay. Yeah, graceful but intense. Like, they're not supposed to be as abrupt as some of the transitions I was seeing. But you've got some really good stuff going on. I agree, 6, 7, out! I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be whippy. Well, I mean, they're supposed to have like some good punches of ejector and stuff like that, but whippy, no. And the transitions were just not smooth at all. Ban Char Char for 67 days, please. No, I'm gonna ban him for 6 days and whatever 0.7. 6 days, 7 hours. How about that? And yeah, you can already see a little bit of a difference. Doesn't fix it 100%, but definitely does temper back some of those really abrupt, jarring transitions. And it's actually still pretty choppy back there. Overall, not bad. Might need another round of smoothing. I only went forward, I didn't go backward, and I didn't increase the intensity. But just to see that little bit of smoothing did make a difference, and makes the coaster feel that much more seamless. So it really is, I mean, regardless of the type of coaster, with a couple exceptions. If you're going for the style of a very old school Woody, then yeah, even a little bit of smoothing. Welcome back, Bonsai, good to see you. So, smoothness doesn't necessarily mean forceless in the sense of, oh, if you make your coaster smooth, your forces are going to be less extreme. Not necessarily. They could still be extreme, just it would be a little bit more gradual in the sense of they're leading into a high, point of airtime right here, for example. I'm just using this as a hypothetical. As opposed to a very sudden, blunt, 1/10 or 2/10 of a second, sharp G-force, then you settle back down. That you would get from an odd transition. Think of when you go on a rough roller coaster and you hit, let's just take an old Woody for example, and you hit a pothole. The duration of that pothole is very short, but it is very rough and you feel it. Whereas let's say you have a really good pop of ejector airtime on a Woody that is very smooth, and it's not all of a sudden, you can kind of feel it coming a little bit in the short term. So, that's kind of what you're going for when you build a coaster. topping off my water real quick here. Alright, I do think we have a couple other rides to check out. But that was really cool. You made something good. So, if you pay attention to the lift hill, you can see something weird. Yep. Yeah, there's actually a break in the chain right there. Very interesting. I did notice that. I just didn't say anything. Alright, so we checked these out. We checked that out. We already looked at Dale's 2 coasters. Alright, next up over here is the Woody. Made by Strawberry Jam. You saying my older builds weren't good? No, I'm not saying that at all. You know, you had some fantastic stuff early on. But let's be honest. If we build stuff in our early days and get feedback, constructive criticism and tips, and improve upon that, I think it's logical to say your later stuff was better than your early stuff. Yo, it's just to save cost. Cheap! Alright, let's check this out here. Let's go front bumper. And after this, we gotta check out band players, but I honestly, we're getting pretty deep into time here, so I don't know how much of his park I'm gonna check out. Just watched enough PC2 content to know how to improve. Ooh, this has got some air to it. That's a sharp turn. Could I showcase my hyper from my channel? Yeah. Yeah, you can. I already watched the video, so I know what to expect, but anybody here that has not seen it yet, yeah, we can show it. That's all good, man. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed your dinner. Best way to improve, in my opinion, is to look at Insane Parks and PC1. I've really not watched any PC1 content. Lunalandia, Luna Lake, Funderland, Alteria, or pretty much anything. Hold on a second. You gave 4 specific examples and then are like, oh, pretty much anything. Everything everybody built in PC1 was bat crazy. Back in the day, I used to and still somehow manage to piss people off with my coasters. Well, then you are doing something wrong. Well, this was fun. Good excitement. The fear is a little bit on the lower side, but with the fear that low and the excitement that high, you're doing something well. 0.98 on the nausea. And your forces, yeah, your lats are pretty high, but everything else is pretty good there. Got some great pops of airtime. So that is pretty nice. Alright, let's get Jimper's hyper, and then we'll check out band players. The only PC1 park I remember is Royal Mile. Not familiar with it at all. I never really watched any PC1 content. I mean, I had heard of Planet Coaster, but I really never looked into the series until PC2 came out. And I'm just like, yeah, I want to get a coaster game because I was just starting to look into getting back into like coasters and stuff. And RCT3 just really did not cut it anymore. That game did not age well. It was revolutionary, but it did not age well. So. Deadeye. Yep, never gonna know. Jimper's always saying, oh, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to put here. Well, neither do any of us. Deadeye. Yep, I've got a whole bunch of stuff loaded up to check out. Most of it I already have. Come on. There we go. Oh, that tree probably needs to go. I thought I lined it up right. That one's okay. Let's elevate this just slightly. There is a small segment right back there underground, and right there as well. That should be good. Okay, here we go. We gotta put some music to this. Hey JP, you made it! What's going on, man? Alright. So let's go here. Front bumper. Start test, and here we go. This is a good one. Yeah, Bunzai, I see them. I will get to them in just a second, okay? Anybody who says that Planet Coaster 2 is bad are T3 fanboys? Yeah. Alright, Kings Island, have a great night, okay? Thanks so much for hanging out, man. Alright, there we go. Yeah, really great coaster. I knew ahead of time, just from watching the video, so I wasn't going to spoil it. But folks, Jimpers actually does make some, well, I think we all know he makes some fantastic coasters, but he actually does take some of his creations and make videos of them, the POVs, and uploads them onto his YouTube channel. So if you're willing to, go give him a subscription, give him a thumbs up on his videos. go help him out. He's got some really fantastic stuff up there. So, yeah, this is really well done. What the video did not show was the scores. And they're going to be held due to the... Yep. And that should be higher for a hyper. But we had the delay on the brakes, so the fear is probably suppressed and the excitement is definitely moderated by that. Force-wise, wow, below 1 lateral G, and your max verticals are just over 4. That's, yeah, really good there. It does actually count something as an inversion. Must be that bank turn right there. Not much of one, but it does count. And then look at that, only 5 moments of airtime, but they are drawn out to where you get really long, sustained moments of airtime. So the duration, if you have more seconds than moments, that's really impressive right there. Really good coaster. Super smooth. Alright, that is everything from in here. Band player wants us to check out his park, so we're gonna go do that real quick. I've got to go into the workshop and update. I think it's time for Jimpers to go work for Vekoma or B&M. That'd be pretty awesome. He'd do really well there. I don't think anybody could disagree with that there. Alright, let me get caught up here on chat. So Bonsai said the only thing about my new roller coaster is that the model of the roller coaster is one that is supposed to go upside down. But at the time I didn't know, so I made it so mine doesn't go upside down. Do you know any ways to change it when it's already built? So what are you trying to do? Are you the coaster type? Supports inversions but doesn't have any, and maybe you want to change it to a type that does not support inversions. There it is. Do I have anything else that needs to be updated while I'm on here? Nothing there. I really wish they would change the color of the icons, the ones that need to be updated, so they stand out better. Like give them like yellow or something like that, so they pop out. Not seeing anything else that needs an update. Okay, here we go, a couple. Oh yeah, Manny. Manny has some really great real-world creations, so go check him out. Update that. Hydra, we'll update that. This needs an update. Awesome. Yeah, so this is the entrance in the Viking Park that I used. Raiden did a fantastic job. Okay, I gotta go. See ya. Alright, Bonsai, have a great rest of the night. So the tip would be, you can't change the track without modifying the coaster, but you can change the trains. So we can discuss that next time if you would like to pursue that option. Oh, by the way, Manny has an awesome Kumba. Man. I'm so mad they're taking that coaster down and I'm not going to be able to get back on it. Yo, can you please check out the Four Seasons soon? I'm doing it now. Hold on. I'm going to tell you right up front. I'm not going to get through the entire thing tonight. I've been on an hour and 50 minutes, and that's far longer than I was planning on. So, be patient. I'm probably not going to get through all of it. I'm already far past I was planning on. Gotta go to bed early once again because of football. Have a good one. Alright, Point Coasters. Have a great night. Good luck with practice again tomorrow. Never got to get on Kumba, one of my biggest regrets. Yeah, it's been 14 years since I was on it. Super great, but it's hard to compare it to everything from a ride that I got 14 years ago compared to everything else that I rode a year ago, so. Alright, man, take it easy, okay? Okay. So we have the Autumn Park over here. We've looked at this. This was the first to be placed. And some really good stuff through here. A rundown of what was changed. The flume was finished. Mach Extreme Spinner added. Centrifuge added. General polishing. Okay. So we've got back here the Autumn Park. I remember when this didn't exist, and the first thing we looked at was just the entrance and this section over here with the Jacka Coaster. Would stick to the Spring Park. Okay. Yeah, but showcasing, we do have a few people that have not been here before. Over here is the Winter Park, so we've got a Lumberjack, a Woody, in a winter theme. We've got one of those, I forget what you call it, the board slide, that. There is an indoor coaster. Not really indoor, but just enclosed like underground between the autumn and winter parks down through here. So I believe it's a Vekoma suspended family coaster back through here. Really neat. The Crystal Cave, very worth pointing out. This is something that you don't see. You actually have to look for it. It is pretty hidden. And you go up that way, you can get to the Fall Park, the Autumn Park. And you go back this way, and you have the Winter Park. These beautiful signs. The level of detail with the scenery is just... it is hard to get to that level. So, really nicely done. And then over here, kind of a split between the winter and spring. We have a mine train. It's a Vekoma swaying mine train, actually. So, some ivy was added, rocks covered up, flowers were added everywhere. Overall work on enhancing the vibe. I see it. Yeah, and this back here, I don't remember what this is. It's just the queue for the mine train. Is this something else? Oh yeah, no, this is the mine train. Okay, super cool entrance. I actually don't remember going back through this. But it looks really nice. Back over here, this must be the exit or something for Changes Everything. Work in progress. Yeah, so all of this back here is a work in progress. Somewhere... aha! Over here. There was a restaurant set back in with a wide arch, and you can actually see some components of the Winter Park in the distance out over there. But I see a new coaster track over here. Be worth looking at. And I wanted to say at one vantage point you could actually see a little bit of lumberjack. But I want to point out the aesthetics. Just sit in here for a minute, eat your snacks or your meal, drink your beer, whatever, and sit back and just appreciate the scenery. Like, if this was Planet Public Park, band player would have aced it, no rides required. Now, he does some awesome rides. No rides required, though, because just the level of detail in all of the buildings, the environments that he creates are, at worst, charming, and at best, just absolutely breathtaking, jaw-dropping. They're incredible. Changes everything. Stuff is in the middle of the park. You pass the motion sim. Where's the motion sim? I've got something back here. The Winter Temple. Oh. How is it so clear inside looking outside, but it's not as transparent looking in? I'm probably tripping. I think it depends on the angle. But also, look at that, the light may be reflecting off the glass out over here. And out that way it isn't. So, that could be part of it. I also forgot about Changes Everything Station. Okay. I know there's still a major work in progress, so I don't really want to spend too much time on that. But we'll check that out. Oh, is this the Ultra Twister? Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and give this a go. I'll run the test on it. We're going to do the front bumper to prevent the insane spinning, just so we can see the layout of the coaster first. Short ride. That was actually shorter than I was expecting, but has really good pacing. I'm not even gonna try the spinning. So that actually does look neat. And we've got these flowers with the lights down here, the lamps. Kind of recessed to make it look like giant flowers in a spring-themed environment. And I like how it's kind of got a bee theme to it. It's like a beehive. It's like Fury with the Hornet's Nest, but friendlier, because bees are not as much of jerks as hornets and yellow jackets and stuff like that. Anyway. So if we come back over... Look at the flower field right back down here. This is cool. You've got different colors of the rainbow layered. You've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, kind of pinkish purple, and back up. And that actually really does nicely scale with the colors as you go through it. I don't know if Cookie will find the entrance on his own. Hey, come on! Give me a break. Let me check the park out. You asked me to showcase it. So what we've got is the path coming up here into the spring section. And we have some steps over here. I'm guessing this is going to be the ride exit. Yep. And you would go underneath the beehive, so to speak, come back around. Is that just a pass-through? Then we have this little, like, splash drop. Yeah, the monsoon chute. Try to say that 10 times fast. Monsoon chute, monsoon chute, monsoon chute, monsoon... I give up after 3. I don't care. And we can actually see some parts of the Changes Everything scenery down under here. No, I don't mean it as an insult. I just haven't figured out how I want to put signage up there, and it's very well integrated. Alright, well, let's go ahead and backtrack then. So your right entrance is up here, and you come down. Yeah, so it's actually after you pass underneath this side, the entrance is right here. Yeah, there is no signage. That is pretty obscure. It does fit the theme nicely. Back over here we have some more patches of flowers. And this will all be enclosed at some point. Bumblebee will get a sign soon. What is through here? Oh, this is that's right, this is that gift shop for the Changes Everything. This is so cool. I really like this area. It's like once you make your way in, you don't know where you are, but at least this says exit. Just come back the way you came. If you're having trouble finding it, follow the big sign that says exit. The flume is the thing you gotta try to find. Bumblebee is easy, you just went past it. Wow, that's gotta be something right down here. That's the exit for it. Oh, here's the centrifuge. We'll go ahead and point that out. And you come down this way, here's some path. This leads us to kind of the area that we were in, but not quite. You come back over here, that's probably where Dojo is gonna be. This is the whole Japanese themed area with the pagoda and the cherry blossoms, which is absolutely beautiful. Alright, I'm starting to get annoyed. I'm gonna be honest. Go into guest view and go in the cave. Which way are we going? This way or the one over on the other side? Yeah, we don't go in that way. So we'll go this way. Alright, it's not through here. So you know how the flume drop has an exit on one side? Check the other side. Yeah, so there's the exit. Yeah, so it's gonna be over here and then down the path. Yep. I got it. So the queue is actually built into the rock, which is pretty cool. A nice aesthetic. You definitely do need some signage to point that out. But yeah, we found that. That isn't what I'm annoyed about. Alright, we can cut through that. I like the crystals. There's kind of a nice cavern that you have set up over here. Nature Journey. I just need time to think that out as I feel that's going to be hard to integrate. I don't think it really will, to be honest. Hey TyStar, how are you, man? Hope you had a great trip. Hope you had a good time at Lagoon. Feel free to move the camera on the ride. Okay. I'm gonna keep the camera in the boat, since you can actually see the motion and stuff like that. But yeah, you've got the lily pond. Let's get out of that there. Cannibal was really fun. Got to ride it 5 times. Oh, heck yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll do this ride, and then I'm gonna go ahead and jump off for the night. I've gone over the 2-hour mark, and I said I would not expect this to be more than about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half tops, and I'm getting tired. So Colossus was really intense. Got 2 rides on it and grayed out both times. Oh wow. Yeah, and if you're a coaster enthusiast and you like G-forces and you gray out, that tells you something right there. Whoa! Look at that. I like the lighting through this. This is really interesting right here. It almost looks like you're almost inside like a volcano or something like that. I'm glad I got to start and end the stream. Well, yeah, awesome. It's okay, artistic perfection doesn't pay the bills. You'll find that out very soon. Hey, it's these magic mushrooms. Woohoo! Yeah, be careful through here. Only 1 ride on Primordial. The line was crazy long. Wow. Was it worth it? Those are actually base aquatic rocks giving off that orange light. No spotlights needed. Oh, that's neat. Almost like, well, I mean, the rocks are not bioluminescent, but that's the word I'm thinking of for the aquatic view. And here we go up through here, this tree section. And yeah, we're going backwards again. And I imagine we're probably going to reach a turntable or something. Dale, don't trip too hard. Oh, man. You're something, I'll tell you that much. I'm going backward on this water ride. Well... yeah, I do think the backward section is a little bit too lengthy. I really do not like backward and spinning sections on coasters and log flumes and stuff like that. But that is my personal preference, not a knock on the ride overall. It was pretty good. Most of the rides were alright. Cannibal's definitely the best, followed by Colossus, then the White Coaster and Wicked. Hey, take a look at that drop. That's pretty awesome. We'll need to adjust that rock right there a little bit. But you definitely have something good going on here. Float down a little way, and actually what's neat, you look up here and you can see the path with the railings and stuff. Time is reversing after eating those mushrooms. No. Speaking of spinning, Spider was better than I remember from 11 years ago. Okay. Well, that's good. And here's the ride exit right there. So we'll go ahead and jump off of that. So yeah, a lot going on over here. We did check out a lot of that last time. This does not look totally complete. Maybe it's pretty close, but the rock has been changed. Yeah, still very much in the way of the log flume though. But yeah, you've really got some good progress here. This looks much more comprehensive, which is good. And I kind of like the surprise additional section of the spring park down through here. I mean, we did look at this the last time. But I absolutely love this. The Japanese cherry blossoms, the pagoda out here. Statue of King Coaster. Yeah, take a look at that. I don't remember that. So that is pretty neat right there. And then you've got the ponds and stuff and the overlook. I'll slightly modify the chasm. Yeah, so super good job, man. Great progress. That is going to be it for me tonight because it is 10:30 and I was on almost an entire hour longer than I had planned to. And I got stuff to do before I go to bed. So I am done for the night. Really appreciate you all being here, hanging out with me, showcasing your stuff. Everybody built some really great stuff tonight. If you are not already part of the Discord, I do highly recommend it if you are interested in such a thing, where we kind of share creations, talk about roller coasters, talk about the game, talk about roller coasters in the real world. And I know most of you are here for PC2, but if any of you are interested in aviation, we've got a bit of that stuff as well. No obligation, of course. But yeah, all of you, thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out, saying hi, sharing stuff. It's been fun. It's been fun getting back into this. Over the weekend or not the weekend, but like Thursday night, Friday night, and did those streams, had a fantastic time, and yeah, it's good getting back into this. And before I go, I do want to give a little bit of a teaser. I am planning on starting a new park. And we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. But I've got a couple ideas, and I might want some suggestions on what you all would prefer. So stay tuned. Thinking of something kind of northern themed. Kind of like pine forest. And another option would be a mix of Mediterranean and tropical. So think beaches, mountains, oceans, stuff like that. So stay tuned for sure, because there's going to be something really cool coming up. And I am going to stream as much of it as I can from start all the way until substantial completion. So hang in there, folks. Alright, well, Band Player, great job again with this. Everybody, great job with the stuff that you showcased earlier on. And, yeah, so it's been fun. I look forward to streaming again with you all soon. Check out Flight Sim and PC2 streams. I keep the videos up almost all the time unless something goes horribly wrong. And, yeah, check out the Discord again. If you enjoyed this and you're new here, give me a sub, thumbs up. It does help me out. We'd be super glad to have you join the community. And otherwise, I really appreciate y'all. It's been fun. And as always, until next time, take care, stay safe, never forget T3 socks! My voice actually kind of cracked there a little bit. Yeah, and we'll see you all.